The first story I want to get to, this is just a perfect example, and yeah, we'll be taking a lot of your chat here today.
Yes.
Joe Rogan caught a lot of flack. Did you guys see this? Caught a lot of flack for saying that, and this is a guy who endorsed Bernie Sanders, by the way, and I thought
like
that was
2
silly.
weeks ago.
Very silly.
Very silly.
And I don't know necessarily why he did it, but I know Joe. I wouldn't say we're necessarily close friends, but I said, kind of a mistake. And I think now he's seeing why, because liberals had a meltdown over these. We have this clip, the recent comments that he made regarding Biden versus Trump.
This is the real issue with the Democratic Party. They've essentially made us all morons.
Yeah.
With this Joe Biden thing, they really have. They
you
made us all
imagine?
morons.
Who do we need? I mean,
I can't vote for that guy.
I can't vote for him.
Wait, is
I
that
can't
guy
vote
Joe
for him.
Biden?
No, that's
vote for
Robert
Trump.
Smith.
He just
Dude,
stutters
I'd
like
rather
him.
vote for Trump than him.
There you go.
I don't think he could handle anything.
Now, let me be really clear here. Joe Rogan did not say he will vote for Trump. So in
Right.
his defense, Joe Rogan, and I know there's always a lot of caveats like, well, I'm pro-gun, but, well, I'm this, but, well, Donald Trump does this, but. He hedges everything that he has to say, and it's kind of sad to live in that world where you have to do it. But I do want to be clear because people are attacking him for something that he didn't say. He didn't say, I will vote for Trump. He said, I'd probably rather Trump than Biden, which really isn't all that extreme of a statement when you consider that one of them has extreme dementia and shows up on stage like he drank a bucket of salt water right before emerging from his hut.
Sure. He's just like an empty suit right now. It's just I don't know how anybody could put him up for a candidate in any election and vote for him.
A couple of facts here really quickly. With Democrats, Biden leads Sanders by 22 points. And then when you look at Trump and Biden neck and neck, 55% of Trump voters very enthusiastic. Biden only 28%. And this is something that's important too. While we're saying, hey, I would rather have Trump versus Biden. Sometimes it's kind of tough when you have candidates before they're in a general election, right? It's kind of tough to know exactly what will happen. Remember back in the day, they did that sort of virtual fight with Muhammad Ali and Rocky Marciano? They put in some metrics and saw who would win, and that was the basis for, what is it, Rocky 19?
I think that was 22.
Is that Rocky 22?
Yeah.
Then,
It's really close.
Then they created Creed. And I don't know why I'm in the minority where I think that Creed is an awful film. But
You're not.
It's like
It's
the pitch was,
horrible.
okay, listen, we're going to take Rocky, and remove all the likable characters and iconic music.
And dude,
I like the
We're
cut of
gonna
your
pitch it
jib,
to the
kid.
kids.
Can we make it more black? We can make it all black. Very nice.
I thought it was a ploy to make everyone like the older Rockies more and rewatch those, right?
Right.
it drove you back to those.
40 chess.
Unfortunately, had the exact opposite effect, where it's like, oh, they came out with a new. You know what? I should go back and watch Ninja Turtles 2. Leave it there. Leave it there. Just let it be. So, but in this case, we don't necessarily have to look at a bunch of hypotheticals with Donald Trump and Joe Biden, because the one thing that obviously right now I just read an article. It's the coronavirus stupid. Clever little title, you know.
I like it.
Because that's going to be the determining factor in the election. And as much as people want to say that Donald Trump has done a terrible job, I don't agree with that. We know for a fact that Joe Biden was against the travel ban, which Donald Trump pulled pretty early on, right? Now he flip-flops just this last week, and he said that, you know what, we do need the China travel ban. Bernie's still against it. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It really does. When people say that,
Whoa. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? Bernie's a communist. He loves his communist friends. What doesn't make sense about that? This
Let
is a
him
time
in.
when people need to be able to stick together who like each other, and nobody goes better together than Chinese communists and Bernie.
that's true. That's like peanut butter and jelly, which is really an odd combination when you think about it.
It is.
That someone said, you know
You'd
what's
never
great?
think.
Salty and
You know
sweet.
what would go great with this? What? Welch's.
Put it on there.
I have no idea.
Jam.
It's disgusting. I like peanut butter and honey and banana. But the point here is that's not really what's most important. It is remarkable to me that Bernie Sanders, before all this, you know, he talked about how Americans shouldn't have to compete against effectively slave labor in these other countries. And he was really kind of a nationalist. So when people like Joe Rogan come out and say, Bernie's been consistent, you can't catch him on anything, I go, well, hold on a second. I think a lot of people will be surprised when they see in the general, maybe even 60% of Bernie Sanders supporters go to Trump. I guarantee you it'll be closer to a 50-50 split than people think. All of his supporters are not going to go to Biden, just like they didn't go to Hillary Clinton. But the reason for that, I think, is that at one point in time, Bernie Sanders sort of espoused this American protectionism, which I don't entirely agree with, but it was tinged with a little bit of America First nationalism.
Yeah, I could see him doing much better in a general than Biden, because think about it this way. If people are pissed off about the response to coronavirus, they're looking for somebody who exudes confidence and leadership.
Yeah.
He's not putting sentences together very well on TV right now. So
can't
nobody's
even lead his own
like
thoughts.
the 28% was the amount of time that he's actually lucid, and that wasn't just when his people were supporting him.
You know what I hope I really don't, and we have a traffic report coming up pretty soon. But before that, you know what I really hope we don't see with Joe Rogan? I really hope we don't see an apology here. I really hope that we don't see Joe Rogan walk this back. And as you know, I've appeared on his show, so bias alert, obviously. I've worked with him personally. He's been on this show. That being said, I do see a lot of walking things back a little bit, not just Joe Rogan, but people in positions of power who host podcasts or who are on air, regardless of their political leanings. I don't want to see that happen right now. In other words, Joe Rogan said nothing wrong. He didn't say, first off, it wouldn't be wrong if he said, you know what? Here, we've got Biden. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. That wouldn't have been wrong. No. But him saying, you know what? Democrats have made morons out of all of this. I've endorsed Bernie Sanders, and now it's Trump and Bernie. At this point, I would probably rather have Trump than Biden. Sorry. There is nothing controversial about that. No. And what I want to see is Joe Rogan go more on the offensive right now at this point. Say, you know what, folks? Okay, I have the biggest podcast known to man. Almost everyone else just exists in my orbit, and you can go fornicate yourself with a wire brush. How about that? You know what? Hey, see, I love it for him to just come out and like show his NRA card and say, now you've converted me to a Republican forever. And I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think he'll become a Republican. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if behind closed doors, Joe Rogan probably votes for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. How does Joe Biden represent not only middle America, but how does Joe Biden represent anyone in the entertainment industry, the Hollywood elite?
Anybody, period.
No. Who does he represent? Joe Biden.
All.
I don't understand it. Is it just old people?
Push-ups.
Is it just the people here who are buying gold, listening to Sanjay Gupta on CNN? Yeah. Who does Joe Biden represent? Can someone let me know? Is it maybe just this sort of amalgamate of people saying he's the only one who can run, he's the only one who can beat Donald Trump, and then people being nervous about Bernie Sanders because he is a far-left socialist, and so this is just kind of what we ended up with because it's his time, sort of like Hillary Clinton. I just don't know how they ended up here. And remember, everyone was saying this in the show, like, it's going to be Joe Biden. I said, it's going to be an old, crazy white guy? At one point, I said, I don't know, I think it'll be Harris. I think maybe it'll be Butt Gig because I thought they needed to keep, the whole
It'll be like a young thing.
And instead, we end up with not only a crazy old white guy, but a crazy old white guy who makes Ron Paul look positively tepid.
It definitely does.
I do like his unerring support of push-ups, right? I mean, guy push-ups, lady push-ups, Marine push-ups, push-up bras. I mean, he's into all of them.
Big fan of Hindu push-ups. He does them at every 7-Eleven. He walks and goes, right? You guys, Hindu. All right, I'll have a second.
It's just where is he right now, right? Yeah, everyone is asking that, whether you're on the left or the right. People
Do you mean
saying,
physically or mentally? Because the two could be very different places.
Well, it's clear we're not trying to put them in the same place, but just are they at least put something forward to be a leader? And he's not, and it's conspicuous. The conspicuous absence here is something that even folks who want to vote for him or vote Democrat are saying, Holy crap! Is this really our guy?
Yeah, it's just crazy to me the outrage that we saw with Joe Rogan over this.